this is Caitlin. Welcome to Pink and Main. I'm so excited to be here with you tonight with a special premiere version of our sneak peek, night number 2, sharing some new stuff coming for the August release. You can see I already have a sneak peek laid out here for us. This is the Sunflowers pop-up card dies. So yours will come in the normal Pink and Main packaging. Mine has been kind of simplified, but it comes with our 2 middle layers here, as well as our back pop-up layer and our frame. So to put all of this together, I have a fun assortment. It's not really a rainbow. I have 2 oranges here, but a beautiful assortment of colors, as well as a very fall group of inks that we're going to use to make this really pretty fall, summer, sunflower kind of transition card. But this would be a beautiful card for year-round, any occasion. And it's going to have that fun pop-up shadow box kind of look to it. So we're using Brownstone, Sunny Sky, Moss. This is Streetlight, School Bus, and then Wildflowers. So the way that this front frame works, it cuts the frame and this jar all in one piece. You can absolutely cut this whole thing from the same single color and have your jar be whatever color you want the frame. But I wanted to show you another option where your jar can be its own color. So we're gonna cut this twice. We're gonna cut the whole frame once from Brownstone, and then we're gonna cut just this bottom part from our Sunny Sky blue, and then we'll trim it and add it as our jar. All right, we're going to be cutting all of the center sections from the same brown, and we will just customize them with our inks. All right, and then I'm also going to be cutting the back frame part of our card out of the same Brownstone cardstock. You could also cut this from like a second pattern paper and use that as like an insert, but I want a solid background for this so that it's not too distracting. So one of these florals is a little smaller than the other, so I want my larger florals to be darker, the ones that are going to go in the back. So we're going to cut our smaller ones from our Streetlight. And our larger ones from the School Bus. And then while we're at it, we're gonna run our small accent flowers here through with our Wildflower Cardstock. I'm gonna go in with my beautiful Pink and Main pointy tweezers and grab these guys off. And when we're done all of our die cutting, I will share a couple sneak peeks with you guys. Then we'll assemble sneak peeks, you know, wrap everything up, more sneak peeks. Just like when I'm live, I'll try to sprinkle everything in for you guys. So the next thing we need is, it's gonna be a lot all at once. We need green for both of our middle panels and all of our leaves and stems. So these accent flowers have their own branches, but the sunflower stem is getting die cut with the frame. So the whole frame needs to be green, or just like we're gonna do with our jar, you could cut the frame from another color, cut this whole thing a second time and just clip it and glue your green over top of whatever your frame color is. But for us today, we're just gonna stick with the green. For our green today, we're gonna be using some Moss cardstock, which is very vibrant and not really a fall kind of color scheme, but we'll be able to kind of jazz it up with our inks really easily. So we're just gonna pop out the kind of reverse negative space from the center dies. And if you need backup for any of these like smaller pieces, you can always just go in with tweezers or a pokey tool, an embellishing wand, But this is so fun that these are floating and it's the leaves that connect, because when they're in the jar, they're gonna look like they're floating in water. Very pretty. Okay, and then our last step is an extra one, because I want my frame to be brown, but my jar to be like a blue glass. We're gonna cut just this section one more time out of that Sunny Skies. And then to get our jar situated, because I want my frame to still be straight, I'm gonna line up this part of the frame with my wire trimmer here and cut right across there. That's gonna separate out our jar. Let's get rid of these little inserts. Okay. But before we start assembling, I did promise you some sneak peeks. So if you want to see all of the stamp sets and the embossing folder and some of the pattern paper that are coming, I shared those in Tuesday's live. So you're gonna wanna go back and check that if you missed it. Tonight I'm gonna be sharing, since we're on a die cut theme, some more die cuts and some foiling products. So this set is something that Donna used last night on her live. This is the Lots of Leaves die, and you can just see how many different beautiful leaves and all of the different sizes. This is going to be amazing for adding some fall flair to your cards or making wreaths. Anything like that is going to be perfect for a stamp set like this, or for a die set like this. And I also think that it's good for year round, because these can all just be green and you could make a like floral summery wreath with it, or spring wreath just as easily. Earlier in the year, when the house die, the home die came out, and we got the Christmas like winter set for it, I told you guys then that if we didn't get an autumn or fall add-on set, I would cry. And good news, I don't have to cry, because we did in fact get the autumn home add-on dies. So let me lift this up so you can see better. These are all kinds of little decorations for the porch and that little house. So spiderweb, ghosties, a wheelbarrow. I think this is hay bale, and you put this with it. We've got some itty bitty pumpkins, some bigger pumpkins. This is for a scarecrow. You can build your own little scarecrow with the overalls and the hat and the stand. We've got a welcome sign, so that's good for year round. This little basket and apples. These are the apples for like a little bushel of apples. A chair, which I also think is great for year round. The little wreath that you could do from any color, perfect. Some gourds. This is the scarecrow's hat. That's his shirt. That's what it is. That's his little sleeves that go under his overalls. We've got little leaves, a spider. This I think is the wheel to the wheelbarrow. A little bow, a bat, and then a little jack-o'-lantern face. So you know we'll be playing with these next week. We'll be making our own little fall and then Halloween house. I think I'm going to pre-prep the houses, and we'll just decorate one for fall and one for Halloween, so we can see both versions with our beautiful autumn home add-on dies. So like I said, I grabbed myself a little fall rainbow here. We've got walnut stain, aged mahogany, crackling campfire, carved pumpkin, forest moss, and stormy sky. And that's going to help us turn all of our cardstock into a beautiful fall inspired, like very autumnal color scheme. If you have other cardstock that you want to use, go for it. If you want to color with markers or colored pencils, that'll also work. But you can also just leave your cardstock colors the way they are, and it'll just give more of a clean and simple look. But if you guys know me, clean and simple is not my specialty. So we're going to add some ink for sure. All right, I'm gonna be blending directly onto my glass mat, but if you need to, you can always put a piece of printer paper underneath your work to keep everything tidy. In hindsight, I kind of wish I hadn't taken everything out of the cardstock that it got die cut from. That will help to keep everything more smooth and flat while you're blending. You know what? Look, I have my Pink and Main Grippy mat, my low tack mat. Let's see if that helps. Yep. And I'm trying to hold my ink sponge at a little bit of an angle so that it'll hit the edges a little more. And these are the sunflower leaves, so that's why I'm not making them, you know, like orange and brown and red, because the sunflower leaves would stay green. This is so weird doing this and not talking to you guys. I hope from everything that I shared with you guys on Tuesday and then everything from Donna's live last night that you're so excited about this new release. If you've seen all of the fall and Halloween stamp sets already, you know that I am a very happy camper. I am absolutely in love with this month's release. Okay, let's knock our blue out of the way really quick. It seems fitting that since we use Sunny Sky Cardstock, we're going to go in with some Stormy Sky ink. I don't want to really darken this up. I just didn't want it to look like it was forgotten. So I'm just going to add a little hint of that blue. I got a little green here on the bottom, but that's okay. A little hint of blue just around those outer edges so that it blends in with the rest of our florals. For my sunflowers, I'm going to switch over to these smaller blending brushes that came in the Pink and Main Advent calendar last year. If you have been waiting patiently for info on the next one, I do believe that it is available right now this week for pre-order. It's so fun. You get a box of all kinds of surprise goodies, something to open every day. And I get to share them live with you guys too. We really enjoyed it last year. So that was Carved Pumpkin that I used on my Streetlight ink, and now we're gonna go in with some Crackling Campfire on the School Bus Cardstock. I think I said Streetlight ink. It was Streetlight Cardstock, Carved Pumpkin ink, School Bus Cardstock, Crackling Campfire ink. And I'm really just focusing the color on the inner part of these petals, just to give them a little bit of variation. I'm gonna try to go in with a little bit of aged mahogany on our wildflower. Oh yeah, it does a little something. All right, I'm gonna take just a little bit on my brush and tap it right on the bottom part of each of these little blooms. Okay, and then we're also gonna go in with our walnut stain. And for this one, I think we're gonna need, I want the bottom layers darkest and have it get lighter as it goes towards the top, towards the center. So I'm really gonna darken up the edges of these larger circles. And then for these smaller ones, I'm gonna use a lot lighter of a hand. Go in more light-handed. I don't know. All right, the next thing I want to share with you is the Seasons of Gratitude stamp set and the coordinating dies. Now, these I believe are part of the Crafty Courtyard kit, but if you aren't subscribed to that, you can still get these individually starting tomorrow. And these are so fun because you can stamp and die cut all of the sentiments as well as this big kind of spray, and this will fit in here kind of mirrored. So you can have on either side and then this in the center. And Donna, I believe, used this for a shaker card as well when she did her courtyard kit video. So this is absolutely beautiful for the fall. You get the solid colored, solid stamp so that you can color in your floral leaf arrangement here with your, with whatever inks you want. If you don't feel like coloring, you can stamp those in. But these sentiments alone are beautiful. The lettering for these is amazing, and the fact that we have coordinating dies is a 10 out of 10 for me. I'm gonna share one more thing that's technically a review for us. You know, I gotta keep you on the edge of your seat until we get to the end here. So if you missed my foil of the month video, we did these together. So this is the Fall Greetings foilable sheets. This and our satin ginger foil came in the foil of the month kit. But now with the release, we also have the coordinating stencil. You can go in after you do your foils and follow the steps, and this is going to fill in all of the pieces of your card, including the sentiment down at the bottom. It's so cute. This one will be available, the stencil will be available, and if you didn't get the foil of the month subscription, you can now grab them both together. All right, let's get out our glue and start assembling all of our pieces here. So I'm gonna start with the florals. We're gonna go in with some of our liquid glue, and we're gonna take our lighter layer, and these would be if it was perfectly lined up and we want to just shift it over. We want those petals to peek out. Then we're going to come in with our next layer of glue and our biggest circle. And I like that the circles on these are kind of wonky. Okay, come back in the center of these with our smaller kind of medium circle. Okay, and then I'm gonna pop in that smallest circle right in the middle. In the inspiration, like packaging picture for this, it's flipped and the darkest is in the center. So definitely have fun with these and test it out and see what version you prefer, because I do think it's fun, like how much you can customize all of this. All right, we're gonna add a little thin line. I'm not even squeezing my glue bottle here, just kind of dragging it across. And let's get our jar added to our frame. We're gonna add our stems here and our leaf. There's the leaf. Let's get our stem. And then our 3 flowers on this side. And our sunflower right next to that. All right, so there's the 3 fronts. Now we have to tackle the back. So I'm going to gently fold these in. You can also reinforce your score lines if you need to. We're going to be using the teeny tiny 1/8 inch Easy Tear tape because it is the perfect size for this flap of our frame layer. Okay, but before we close everything up, I want to get these all in their spots. So we're going to, here we go, pop our back panel into its spot. And I'm putting the one that has the flowers up higher to the back. There we go. Then we'll get our front panel popped into place. And you kind of just put one tab in at an angle. There we go. So you can see we're starting to get that shadow box kind of multi-layer effect. Then I'm going to remove the tape on one side. There we go. Then we're going to remove the tape on the other side. Okay, and we're going to push everything all the way to the right. So this outside panel is folded to the right, our other panel is folded to the right. Then we're going to just fold our frame over and let that catch where it wants to sit naturally into that tape. And that is going to make it so that our card will fold flat in both directions. And then that is our sunflower pop-up die card completed. How beautiful is that? And it folds completely flat, right? You can put that right into an A2 sized envelope, no problem. This floating stem in the jar effect is beautiful, and these sunflowers are so lovely. You could add a little sentiment banner here across the front if you wanted to, or you can use the back and put your message to your recipient there. All right, I have the rest of our sneak peeks here for you. We have some new foil options, and let me grab the name of our newest foil. So this is the Waterfall Gold Cheer Foil. That's coming out tomorrow, as well as our ginger, satin ginger, which is that beautiful pumpkin orange that we used. We're also having the Lots of Leaves foilable panels that are perfect for all of fall and even summer. Again, I think you could do these with green foil and they would still be beautiful for summer. We also have the Seasons of Gratitude foilable panels. And that's the same layout as our stamp set that we looked at earlier. So if you love that style, but you also want to be able to foil it, you can now do that as well. And then our last foilable sneak peek are the Bold Plaids foilable sheets. So you get 2 of each of these designs, and they're just beautiful. Like a little plaid houndstooth kind of feeling foilables. So we love those. We are also getting the oranges sticky gems that have that sticky back. These would also be a beautiful addition to a card like this. You could pop some in there. Even the red with the little mini flowers that we did. And this is the Fall Ginghams pattern paper. So we'll do a quick color flip through because these are just beautiful. I love these. These are the most beautiful fall color gingham plaids. Brown, purple, green, blue. They're stunning. I absolutely love them. I'm gonna need multiple of these. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with me. If you don't usually hang out with us live, we are live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern here on Pink and Main, and Miss Donna is also live on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock on the Pink and Main channel as well. Please keep an eye out for the Instagram hop that's going to happen tomorrow to go with this release, as well as Michelle's release video. She usually has those out on release day or release weekend, going over all of the new products and explaining all of the good details behind each of them. So keep an eye out here for that. And come back and let me know in the comments what your favorite product from the new release is once you see how amazing everything is. Thank you guys again so much for being here. I will see you guys soon. And until next time, happy crafting.